Hey, I hope everyone's doing really good. I'm gonna start with some cards I got here. These are, excuse me. These are just some cards I needed to seek out because of the Sam Keith artwork on them. Start with these two. These are from these Vampirella gallery cards. They're extra like wide, almost like intended to be like widescreen cards. A little overexposed in this light, but surprisingly, I ordered the set just because the set isn't that much more than just this one card. But I was glad to see that one had a gold foil and one had red foil. So a little value for money there. Uh, this is a profit card. This is from Jim Lee's Wildcat set. Let's see, put my foot right here. This is one of the alien creatures that they fight. This is Maul, actually, of the Wildcats. Sorry, I meant to set up this video with the camera, with the stuff in front of the camera. I just don't have any. I don't have any clear tables. Um, that's sort of the issue with being a kind of a clutterous person. Is you don't often have a lot of free counter space or tabletop space. So show must go on. These are from the Superheroes Marvel 1990 two cards. Doctor Strange. And here is Cyber. And should have Nightcrawler. Let me see. Yeah. Great looking Nightcrawler. I have a pretty nice Mike Mayhew Nightcrawler on the way, signed by Mike. Waiting on that. I was hoping I'd have it today to share, but it's always a good idea to have some stuff to share on another day. I have a pretty good little box of stuff to share right now, so this is going to be a little hard to catch. This is one of those 1990 holographic images. I'll show you the image first so you know what you're looking for, but that's what it is. You can see the Hulk's like in a tug of war with his hands in a forced perspective there, and his back sort of balled over. So now when you look at this, I'm gonna have to get it just right. It was such a big deal. I remember like in '89, Upper Decks started doing the holographic cards, like the stickers, a little hologram on the back of each card. We couldn't believe it, man. We thought we were looking at like another dimension, a gateway into another portal, but yeah, you get the idea. Right there. This is a Mars Attacks card. Excuse me, I'm a little sniffy. These are all in the mail like last week. I just happened to be ordering these. This is Troca. It's another Jim Lee Wildcats thing. But holographic image, just, it's not going to hurt the subject that much because the subject is in a more like a pen and ink style, so we're able to find them in the hologram. My dad bought this card at a show years ago, but unfortunately I had to, obviously I'm going to keep the one he bought, but the back got a little bit of like sun like fading, so I replaced it. A slight upgrade. You can never beat the ones that your parents get you, but nice little prism there. Marvel Comics presents Sarah Wolvie. So there's a couple other cards I really need. They're so expensive though. I'm not gonna play ball. There's one of Gru, which is pretty freaking cool. Sergio Aragones is Gru, Sam Kieth card. And there's a Bart Simpson one from the 1995 Skybox set that's always been like really expensive. I've never even tried to afford that one. I threw in an offer with this one guy and he almost did it, but I think he let it expire. He didn't like decline it. He just sort of let the clock tick down, which is probably good because, like I said, I don't really like to spend a lot on cards like that. Over 100 is a lot for a card for me, for non-sports especially. But this is one that Davis showed me a good deal on a while ago, and I finally pulled the trigger. Deaths of Wolverine, Lives of. I don't know exactly what the title is, but I believe this is like some probably interior artwork from a Marvel Comics Presents. From a long time ago. They re-released it like maybe 6 years ago. Great looking image though. So I got that from a company called, like, I think 1031. So yeah, nice little image there. I've had this poster for ages, but I never really had the comic, which the comic is nice because it's got a little bit of a silver foil on it, but the pummeler, great parody of Frank Castle, the Punisher. It's funny, like when you have a poster, like a large image of this, it doesn't appear as detailed when you get it kind of shrunken down. I guess because when you reduce the scale, it bunches up all the lines more, so it always looks more intricate. But yeah, I always really dug this image. This one right here is really cool, actually. There's a lot of good artwork in this one. This is sort of like a fundraiser book for Archie, to benefit creators in need. So it's like the Hero Fund. But some really cool artwork in this, actually. Some of the names that worked on this: Norm Breyfogle, Tony Fleeks is in here, Gail Keown, Sam Kieth, Jim Mahfood. Actually, even more than I noticed. Todd McFarlane, Jerry Ordway, Dave Parent. He's just an Archie artist, so that's not much of a stretch. But George Perez, John Romita. I think John Romita Jr. is also on this too, but let's just kind of like look at some of them. I never even noticed that I see Gail Keown's in here. Here's the Norman Breyfogle. Now I really got to find that Gail Keown. Joe Jusco. Oh wow, that is Del Keown. Big time. Sam. Actually, I was probably out of focus on that. Keown, let me, just because it's such soft pencil on it, you were probably looking at glare. Let me bring that in a little bit, just because it's so nice, his pencils always. Really curious about the Mahfood too, Jerry Ordway. Perez. So these all just look like sketch covers, like just an artist alley dream come true. Wow. Here's Ramita and McFarlane. And here's Il Bill Sienkiewicz. Here's the Mahfood. I'm just gonna actually look at the table of contents for that Mahfood. I'm curious now. Page 25. Oh wow. Actually, the Mahfood's nice, all in red. On a hard time. And Joseph Michael Lisner. Couple more. And within the book, there's even a, what is it? The actual book inside. Oh God. Yeah. Archie, Mary's, Veronica, the proposal. Wow, he goes with Ronnie, huh? See how that works out for him. I don't know. I mean, I get it, but Ronnie's trouble, man. I don't know if you can handle that. And then there's like cool stuff like this in here. Okay, we've been on this one for a bit. It's just, I don't know, it's just so good. You get to see all, like for the most part, these artists stay pretty true to the Archie House style, but it's still cool to see what they're gonna do with it, just because for a lot of them, Archie is really outside their wheelhouse, and it's just kind of cool. Now this right here is a Mendoza cover on Dead at 17. It's a Kickstarter. Josh Howard, and this was a really good read. I've always liked Josh Howard. These are one of those Kickstarter books where they use such good paper it can't even quite close. It's just always going to be like the pinup's just so hard to press down on. But this was a really cool story. The art's quite nice, as always, as I'd come to expect. It's very graphic. Not so much in its, well, it is graphic in its depiction of violence, but I mean more like graphic, like the artist's approach. It's very designy, I had a really good time with this, though. I actually pledged to the Kickstarter. I bought this after the fact, but going forward, I will pledged to the Kickstarter. This guy, Josh Howard, he does everything himself, you know? He takes care of it all. He's actually working on a Zombie Tramp crossover too. It's just gonna be him on interiors. But yeah, Seller had this for me, and he also had the latest Sad Girl Psycho Baby, which I'll show you in a minute. And he had like really good prices for you could tell like he just wasn't doing the Kickstarter flip where he bought them just to sell them. Like, you know, maybe he bought an extra set and kept it, you know? So I respect that. It's always kind of nice to not just get so that's going to be continued. To just get handled by someone who's strictly an aftermarket price hiker-upper. This one right here, it's really in between issues. I wanted to know what was going on with this character. This is issue 7. And just Mutsy, Lil Six, and Baby, they're basically, they found Zombie Tramp, and she's basically being brought into their time unity, but she's basically like in prison. She's just an upper torso, and these three are trying to take her down to recruit her, and she nearly kills all 3 of them. This is kind of like what they had to do to get to the next point in the story. So ultimately, yeah, it's a lot of fighting her in this cave, and then finally she agrees to come along. You know, it's just that part in the story. So I haven't read it for a while, and I wanted to I just sort of jumped in on the in between issue, probably in between big events. But so read that. Been sort of working on some Lady Death lately. I saw Seller have this gothic Lady Death for not too much. Nabbed her up. And he also had this pretty nice Frizzen Black Canary cover. So let me tilt this girl up here. She's just glaring the hell out of us. That's better. And I also got, this is the Wizard 1/2 of that Trent Kanuga Ghost Rider stuff I've really been enjoying a lot, actually. Despite the Danny Mickey inks, which, yeah, why doesn't Danny Mickey just draw his own stuff and ink that, you know? But, so this is from Marvel Knights, but again, it's some really cool Trent work. This is right before he got into like character design for Blizzard. But I never got this stuff because of the Danny Mickey inks, and I finally just caved and I said, you know what? Sometimes you can't let people ruin your party. And I finally just bought it. And this is like a part of the story that I just never had. Wizard Sendaway. But it's cool. I gotta read it because I've read the trade. I've read this story. This is kind of like a little filler story. So cool. Cooking some chili verde tonight. Just added a bunch of water to it. My brother just added a whole bunch of water, so I don't have to wash the stove. These are really nice, just Miller covers on the re-releasing The Dark Knight Returns for the 40th anniversary. So it's still a really nice, really nicely formatted, just the exact same book. It looks identical on the inside, so it's great for reading. And they're putting out one of these each month. They're doing your traditional cover, the original cover, and then they're also doing new Miller cover. Had to get that. Davis just read this, so congratulations to Davis for his first reading of The Dark Knight Returns. I'm sorry Strikes Back wasn't what you were feeling. I still haven't read Master Race. How was Master Race, Davis? Was that good? Kelley? Trying to get the big scene right. He talks about the rain being a baptism on his chest. Love that Klaus Jensen. I love the ultra thin and then just the muddly puddles of black ink right over it. Such a nice contrast. Of course, this was the story with the Two-Face. And I mentioned a panel a couple of videos ago of when the lightning strikes right as the final showdown with Bruce and Harvey is going down. Maybe that isn't until the next issue. Yeah, I guess not. Oh, here we go. This right here, that's really cool, like washed out Sin City art on the top of it. Forgot how abruptly that one ends. Anyway, got one of those for me. My brother's a Miller guy too, so I got him a copy. I needed this Shane Glines Montoya cover. Officer Montoya of the Gotham Police Department on Gotham Girls 4. So these are from, I believe, the reprints of Invincible. This is the Mike Mayhew cover. It's you're gonna have a hard time seeing it. It's foil, but yeah, you're gonna have a real hard time seeing that. I can't even see it in person, to tell you the truth. It's so hard to get. It's a really nice image. I wish it's about the best we're gonna be able to do. I wish it was easier to see. These foil covers. Anyway, it's a really nice pink cover. You'll just have to take my word for it, though. Between the light. Maybe if I stand back. Yeah, there's just no way. And these are Ivan Talaveras. Hopefully this one's a little bit better for viewing. I feel like Comic Crypt with Castle Hill is trying to show this. He had the same problems. Hey Mike, if you're out there, happy Easter, buddy. Hope you're doing good. It's so beautiful. It's hard to capture. Classic beauty. Adam, Eve. This is kind of a, I don't know, I think it's like a Kickstarter called Crypt Cuties, and it's sort of done in this Monster High kind of style. And I like this artist, Marissa Pope. So much easier to show a cover like this Let's take that out of the bag. Yeah, just to give you this is a Kickstarter, but it's pretty cool artwork on the inside. Reminds me a little bit of the Afterlife with Archie stuff. But this is from Goblin Publishing, and this is book 2. Yeah, I like the artwork. There's always a chance when you get a Kickstarter that you love the cover, but the interior artwork's maybe not so good. This is nice. So this is like a Laguna Blue type of character. And we got this girl here. Looks a little bit like that Daphne Keane actress that played in X-23. But I don't like this artwork as much as that other one. But it's not bad. Kickstarters are kind of hard to do, you know? Sometimes you love to support an artist, and sometimes you're just like, man, can we just go a diamond distributor, please? Can we just do it that way? So, you know, sometimes it's tough. Here's Crypt Cuties, issue 3. Yeah, we're running a little late here, but let's carry on. I just want to... Okay. And I think the rest of this is a lot of like trade paperbacks. I got this off of Amazon, collection of The Haunt. Robert Kirkman, Todd McFarlane, Capullo, Ryan Otley. A lot of like really good people worked on this. Let's see if I can find a cover gallery. Oh no, like the covers are at the beginning of each story. I like that art. I always like this character, the Haunt. So it's pretty cheap on Amazon if you want to like just get this character in your collection, if you want to read up on it. Just always really liked the way covers of Spawn looked. Haunt seemed cool. Like I said, really not expensive for this big book. $49.99, but I think it's around half that. You know how Amazon does it. So, plan on reading this probably in the summertime. I don't expect anything too incredible, but I mean, Robert Kirkman, I mean, it could be pretty dang exciting. I like this artist in back. That looks pretty funny. And sort of like that face right here. It's kind of cool art. Okay. I just needed I wanted this in hardcover. It's one of my all-time favorite Frank Miller stories. My brother loves it. This is Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. This was initially a script that Frank had written to be made into a movie. However, the movie didn't happen, so just wrote it into a really good, I guess you'd call it a graphic novel, but it did come out, and monthly comic format. But this is a great story, and sometimes you just want a really good story. You just want the definitive edition. This is just going to be great on a rainy day. Just kick back and read this. Got it all together here. Really nice paper. It doesn't look overly showy. So Elektra is in this technically, although not really in so much as Elektra. As Maddie doesn't even have his costume yet. He's just running around, kind of blindfolded, in basically black sweatpants and gloves, in a hoodie, and he's basically infiltrating this kidnapping that I'm pretty sure the Kingpin's involved in, but we're gonna get like screenplay pages, and I mean, yeah, I don't really have to show you, you can just see its text, but so that really excited me. I just, man, if you don't like JR, that's all good. But I feel, honestly, this is like your best chance at liking him, because he is just, his style is made for this story. And these action sequences, just really nicely choreographed. But like I said, you know, there's going to be people that just aren't into certain styles, and it sort of becomes like something I'm afraid that they're predisposed to. Like, they just kind of hear, oh, that guy can't draw, and they hear it enough times and they start to believe it without really even seeing it with their own eyes. Like this guy right here, a lot of people didn't like his Batman Nightfall covers. This is the Hammer, Kelley Jones, $34.99 cover on this hardback book. So I got this also off of Amazon, and this is all Kelley Jones. He wrote this too. This is all him, pencil, ink, the whole way. This is his vision, through and through. You cannot get more Kelley Jones than this. And it's gonna be fun. Like, I have too much stuff. I have to stop. It's becoming serious. But it's okay. Okay. I just have to stop now. Because I don't have any more room. I'm now in my brother's room with my stuff, you know? Who would have thought? But I remember, like, when people were really first starting to majorly get into, or I became more aware of it, you know, having like laptops and having just a bunch of files on discs or in hardware. They would just say, man, I got like a whole movie library, you know, in this one little tower here. And I think, yeah, you know, you're saving space, but eventually people are going to want the physical media again. So it was just a little generation thing. Now people are back to wanting their stuff, which I think is cool. So, you know, a lot of people threw out all their VHS, and VHS is pretty sought after again, you know. So old tapes are still lasting. So, I mean, this just look really cool. Actually, these last pages are just killing it too. So, okay, let me just maybe show a couple more things. We got here. Oh, someone just threw in this Black Panther. It's kind of like smaller sized edition, but It collects his appearances in FF and Avengers from really early on. And Astonishing Tales as well. So that's cool. I just threw this in because what did I buy? Oh yeah, they actually mentioned like in the ad that, you know, free gift. So it wasn't really an accident. So those came with when I bought these. Norm Breyfogle, Legends of the Dark Knight. This is a collection of Norm's Batman work, which is incredible stuff. This is book 1. I always just really envied people who had like the Norm Breyfogle detective and Batman stuff. But this is just a really nice collection. Give you an idea. Let me see if do I at least have a cover gallery? Once again, I don't know. This came out about 10 years ago. Yeah, I don't think there's a cover gallery. But, so, Norm Breyfogle was there a lot when, what was his name? Some of this is written by Mike W. Barr, but who was the primary writer that he worked with? Can't think of his name right now. Ellen Grant. Let's find a couple nice pages. So a lot of this was like when they introduced the ventriloquist. I'll tell you the issues right now. This collects Detective 579 and then 582 through 594, 601 through 607, and stories from Batman Annual 11 through 12. So what does that sound like? About 16 books or something? There's just something about the way he drew Batman. Another great Batman artist that we lost. This is the detective stuff. I try not to collect detective comics just because I had a really nice collection that I sold, and it just always kind of broke my heart to try to collect detective again. So I shy away from it, and you know, if I collect, it's probably like the Batman, just the trademark series. But you can't really deny it. There was some cool stuff in detective. Oh, look at that. Yeah. So like I said, man, I love like when he kind of shorthands Batman like that. I'm just losing all the great Batman artists. And this book celebrates a really good one. Oh, damn, that's cool. So this this format, they also make it available to you. Let me show you this. Some of these fight sequences are just really nice. Some of Batman's trademark moves, like he also, like during Nightfall, he did a lot of this punch, or it's like a backhanded punch. But so this also gives you collections of the Marshall Rogers Batman, Don Newton, Gene Colan, and Tim Sale. So these are all out of print, but you could probably track them down. I wonder if the Tim Sale is stuff other than which you always get, which is, what was that guy? His long Halloween, long time colleague, Jeff something. Can't think of it right now. Oh. This is the second volume of the Breyfogle collection. And this gives you some other options. This lets you know about, there's a volume 1 and 2 for Jim Aparo. That's great. Ellen Davis, and they also mentioned the other Breyfogle one, the one we just showed. But there's your Jim Aparos. And Marshall again, Marshall Rogers. Take this off. Huh. I guess he faces off with anarchy in this collection a lot. Because we got the, looks like the cheerleader outfits in the Smells Like Teen Spirit video. Boy, this looks crazy without the dust jacket, huh? Yeah. Anarchy. So I will tell you, my friends, that this collects Legends of the Dark Knight, Lauren Breyfogle, Volume 2, Detective 608 through 621, and Batman 448 through 451, and 455 through 459. Cool. Let's just jump right in. Going to be a lot of anarchy in this one. This is all late 80s, I believe. Maybe some of it, 90, 91, but not too far into the 90s. I'm sorry, just kicks so much ass. Anyhow, that's a lot. It's a lot. I have a couple more things, but I think I'll share them in another video. Maybe I'll just hint at them. These dust jackets are tough to get on if you're not at a desk. One moment, please. Careful. Okay. And the back side, please. So, got a couple more hard covers, I think, but I want to take my time on this. This is just the Mars Attacks Firstborn trade paperback. Well, maybe we'll flip through this next time. And I got this right here. This collects a lot of the Silvestri Wolverine. But the primary reason I got it, you can zoom in, see right about here. That's Marvel Comics Presents 85. So you get yourself hardcover versions of all those Kieth Wolvies. But yeah, a lot of it is going to be some Jim Lee Wolvie, but namely Silvestri Wolvie. Volume 3 collects Wolverine 31 through 59. You get Wolverine, Ghost Rider, Punisher, Hearts of Darkness, X-Men 1 through 7. Material from Marvel Fanfare 54 through 55. Marvel Comics Presents 85 through 108. Yeah, amongst other things. Yeah, so we'll crack this open. We'll break her in next time. I think that's enough. I don't want to take too much of your time. Oh, I also track this down. Here's a movie that Sam Kieth directed. Yeah, our Sam Kieth, a rock climbing movie. It's a Roger Corman like low budget movie, but yeah, this was from 2000. Sam directing teens rock climbing. I don't even know what happens. Disc's clean. I don't want to fall off the cog, but anyway, I gotta check my food I'm cooking. Thanks for watching. Everyone have a good one. Different setup. Kind of nice to get out of the usual stuff. Sorry we were so overexposed, but I wanted you to be able to see. Anyway, thanks for watching. I wish we could have just hung out like this. This is so much more humane, so much less harsh. I wonder, like, would you have even have been able to have seen the books, though? Yeah? Oh, man. Redo. From the top. Okay. That was just take one. Back for take two. No, that was it. Thanks for watching. Bye. And have a happy Easter.